Hi there, Brent Heber here, the Greens candidate for Cogra in the upcoming state election. Today's video blog, I just want to concentrate on one key policy initiative which has massive ramifications for St George in the upcoming election, and that's to do with public transport policy. The Greens have announced our public transport policy a couple of weeks ago, and I just wanted to drill into a couple of the key differences between where we stand and where the old parties stand with regards to that investment. First thing is that the Greens are the only party who are prepared to say no to WestConnex. We're prepared to rip up those contracts and redivert those funds. And that's a massive amount of money that is being spent on this road. The key reason we stand by this is not because we are opposed to all motorways forever and ever, but currently in Sydney in particular, where we're looking at the problem of WestConnex, we know that the business case for this motorway doesn't stack up, and more importantly, it's not going to actually solve the congestion issues that we're facing here. It's a complete waste of money. When we look at the funds that are being spent on WestConnex and compare that against heavy rail, light rail, and other modes of transport, basically a lane of motorway that these guys are proposing to put through, or multiple lanes of motorways, will move about 1/10 of the capacity of heavy rail. Now, our heavy rail network is already towards capacity, so it's going to drive more and more people onto these motorways unless we do something urgently to upgrade those rail networks. If we look at a recent article in the Herald, you'll see that we are the ones on our line going to the airport who are going to suffer worst from this. So key policy initiatives for us. Firstly, the Greens are proposing that we take those funds that are earmarked for WestConnex and redivert them into a couple of initiatives. One is buying back the airport line, removing the access, the gate pass fee, which is ridiculous and basically prevents a lot of people from going to the airport on heavy rail. If we remove all of those people who are driving to the airport, or at least a considerable chunk of them, it could be as high as 50% of the people using the M5 East on a Monday or a Friday afternoon, from those peak hour rush hours getting to the airport for domestic services, straight away we're going to have an immediate response to alleviating the need for the M5 East duplication. Other aspects of our policy would include areas like park and ride facilities, and here where I live in Kingsgrove, that there's a beautiful opportunity there as a block of industrialised land just between the M5 and the heavy rail corridor, which would allow a multi-level car park with ramps off the M5 to allow people a last chance to avoid the M5 East tunnel by pulling off, parking, transferring to heavy rail, and then catching the affordable rail line into the airport, disembarking, boarding their plane without the cost of parking, without the cost of expensive cab fares, things like this, sitting in traffic, going nowhere. So there's two key areas for St George. If we look just to the north of St George, we also want to see heavy investment in light rail. One of the key areas of opportunity for us is between Dulwich Hill going east across south of the CBD towards Randwick and connecting up with the existing planned eastern light rail network over there. We have a key issue in our city currently where a lot of traffic is trying to get to the Randwick Health and Education precincts, to the University of New South Wales, to the hospitals over there, and massive employers over there, and it's just not serviced by public transport well at all. And so a lot of people drive there. They have to go through St George, across south of the city to get over to those districts. If we provided things like light rail services, better express bus services, things like this, again, would be alleviating finding real-world solutions here for our transport without this pointless WestConnex, which is going to do nothing to actually solve that. And it's going to end up with a massive debt on our state, and we're the ones who are going to be paying the toll, and the only people who profit are going to be the private operators. So please, have a read of our public transport policy in the lead up to the election and make your vote count. Vote for a minor party, preferably the Greens, before a major party, and let them know that you don't agree with the way that they are running our state, and again, they're running us into the ground fiscally. It's irresponsible, and we need to be looking for smarter solutions for the future for a fairer New South Wales. Speak to you again soon. All the best. Bye-bye.